go. We're back on, and we're good to go. We are live, Falcons fans. Welcome in to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Trace Moustakas, but please do me the pleasure of calling me Moose. I have got a great show planned for you today. I'm not going to lie to you. I was at cloud nine after the Falcons win over the Buffalo Bills on Monday, and I'm still very, very happy. And I think you're going to find that my first segment kind of deeply reflects how I feel about how the national media has presented this Falcons win, or their lack thereof, really, and more portrayed it as a Bills loss. So on today's live show, I am going to ask you a very important question. Something that I believe every true Falcons fan in their heart of hearts believes to be true. And that is, can the Falcons go on a run in the next couple of weeks? Now, I'm not saying you got to win every game, but in the next 5 games, which we will talk about here at some point in today's show, can you win 4 of them? At worst, go 3-2. You let me know in the comment section down below. I've got producer Alper on the 1s and 2s today. Now, I've got something to do, a little work thing that I got to put in our group Slack. So I'm going to have him give some shout-outs right now, say hello to the people, and then I'll jump back on in a second.
It's not producer Reed. I apologize. But we're still going to have a great time. And I don't know if I'm as fun as Reed. Fast sunset when we get respect. Good question. You beat the Buffalo Bills. I think that's when you start to get the respect. Kevin, what's going on? Yaddy B. How we doing? The dog, SYT, yes. Falcons, baby, Falcons. So we are having a mailbag today. So like last week, you got to use hashtag Falcons to get those questions in. How many people we got in the chat right now? 74. Oh, come on, Moose. You're not even paying attention.
Sorry. I'm right there.
We got 74 people in the chat right now and only 12 likes. What are we doing? Got to get those numbers up. Hit that thumbs up icon. Dacier Gaming says, even when we beat the Niners, the media will say, are the injuries too much?
Well, here's what I think about that. The Niners are, 5-1, even with the injuries? So I don't want to hear shit about that.
Well, Mac Jones is balling out.
Sorry, 1 second, guys.
He's actually balling out, which is kind of crazy.
All right, now we're good. Sorry about that, guys. We are good now. So can the Falcons go on a run? My answer, obviously, producer Alper, is of course they can. When you beat not the best, I can't call them the best anymore, but one of the best teams in the NFL and one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in a quarterback-driven league, you can beat anybody in the league. And I'm so sick and tired of no credit being given to the Dirty Birds. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you, as a fan, I can get emotional. I can get up with my peaks and be like, the Falcons are going to the Super Bowl. And then there's times where I could be in the dumpster and I can go, the Falcons suck balls, you got to fire everybody. I understand that. I'm not a perfect human being. I try to be as objective as I can, but I do love this team just like you guys love this team. So, with my love for the team and with my love for football, sometimes my judgment can get a little clouded. So maybe I'm not as cloud nine as I was against the Buffalo Bills on Monday night after the win, but I still do believe that that was a very impressive must-win game for the Atlanta Falcons to establish who they are to the NFL world. And by the way, quick little update for you, a little my bad here. I know. I forgot to do the duck race. I forgot to do the duck race against the Bills. So we're going to do it today at the end of today's show. We're going to do a very quick duck race. I've still got all of the names that are in my last watch party doc, so we will make sure that all of the ducks get put in. We'll do a 1-minute duck race, and then 2 people will be chosen to enter in to win the Matty Ice signed jersey. Ooh. And by the way, producer Alper, there is a photo of that somewhere in there. Should be a little bit lower than what the
let's see if we got it.
The Segs got it, but it should say Matt Ryan on it. It is a signed autographed jersey from Matt. There it is. Booyah! Look at that. Ooh, sweet. And you still have the opportunity to get even more ducks in today, considering I didn't do it last week. Now, that does not come without its deals, because I figured as somebody who forgot and dropped the ball, that's on me. I'm going to make it a whole lot sweeter for you today. I've got some super chat deals that you are going to want to see big time. So what I decided to do was this. $5 is still only going to get you one duck entry. That remains the same. But I've even doubled and tripled, in some cases, some of these deals. So $10 used to get you 2 ducks. Now it's 3. Today only. $20 is 6 ducks, where it used to only get you 4. And if you send in a $50 super chat, you get automatic entry into the Matt Ryan jersey raffle. You don't need any ducks. You bypass all of them, and you just get in. Now, currently, we've got 4 people that are automatic entries for the Matt Ryan jersey raffle, which we will give away on November 12th. So, if you want to send in a 50, not only will producer and I a bang, we will also get you automatic entry in joining that list of 4. But this is what the deals look like today: 5 for 1, 10 for 3, and 20 for 6. God, I'm feeling good today, man. 3 and 2, the Dirty Birds are on Sunday Night Football on NBC.
How many primetime games do the Falcons have?
All I know is we play better during prime time, so give me more primetime games. Gotta love it. All right, coming up on today's show, because I know that you guys want to hear some ball talk, right? Pat McAfee was one of the only NFL talking heads that actually gave the Dirty Birds any sort of credit throughout the entirety of the week. And I thought I should highlight him on today's show because I'm a big fan of Pat McAfee. I'm also a big fan of what he had to say about Raheem Morris, Jeff Ulbrich, and the Dirty Birds. Then, of course, we're going to talk a little preview against the 49ers for Sunday Night Football, what San Francisco does well, what they don't do well, and how the Falcons can beat them. And then, of course, a mailbag. Questions by Falcons fans to a Falcons fan. So make sure you use hashtag Falcons or send in a super chat, and we will help you skip the line. You'll be front and center, and that's any super chat. If you send in a $1 super chat with your question, you're going to be front and center. You're in, baby. Let's get some shout-outs going here before we get started. Now we're only 8 minutes in. Only 8 minutes in, Producer Alper. By the way, I brought my snacks in today. So the lunch option that we had at Chat Sports today was this place called Kava.
It sucks.
It sucks. Producer Alper and I are the only two really in the entire office that don't like it. Everybody else thinks it's either decent or really good. You and I hate it.
I got a small salad.
Let me guess, tiny. I need a small salad. And I've also got my water, also known as Blackberry Dr. Pepper.
Where'd you get that?
Oh, the bodega.
They have
black. Dude, do you want a sip? It's delicious. There's a little bit left.
Kava gives you like 1 scoop of chicken. Yeah, I got.
So they do know. They do know Kava. Shout out to Lav.
Ooh,
It's so good, isn't it?
I love Dr.
It's
Pepper.
sweet.
I had a Dr. Pepper for.
You get that Dr. Pepper taste, but you also get that little extra like sweet and kind of bittery taste of the blackberry. It's awesome. Bricked Up Studios. Way to get your hashtag Falcons in there.
That's
I'm
a good
bricked
question.
up. I'm all bricked up. Jeff all bricked up.
That's a great question.
Dossier Gaming says, Moose, what team did you cover before the Falcons? None. I did not. I did not cover a single team before the Falcons.
I cover the Patriots.
I tried to cover a little bit of Notre Dame football. I'm still trying to cover Notre Dame football here at Chat Sports, but that has been sidelined for at least right now. At least right now.
Camo Noddles, put hashtag Falcons.
Not bricked up, says Roddy. Hey, listen, I'm all bricked up. That's ULBRICH, bricked up.
Kind of makes you forget how good Jeff Ulbrich has been. It makes you forget about his son prank calling people.
Yes, it was a really bad prank, but I'll tell you what, I love that Jeff Ulbrich is my defensive coordinator. He's really great. Probably the greatest D coordinator in the league, some would say, frankly.
Falcons dominating the rest of the season.
I mean, look, you're going to drop games. Do you really think the Falcons are going to go 14 and 3 or 15 and 2? No, of course not. I could see them losing to the Colts. These are they've got some good teams. The Patriots are
you got
a tough
us
game.
in 2 weeks.
The Patriots are tough. But you can beat the 49ers. Easily. That's one. By the way, I didn't realize how mid the 49ers defense is. Statistically speaking, they're like between 15 and 20 in almost every category. It's insane. Where did Petey go? Petey is now doing something other than hosting at Chat Sports. He left the company about 5 months ago, so it's been a while. Just got here after work. What's it going to take to get Waddle from the Dolphins, in your opinion, Moose? What are you giving them? I'm so happy you brought that up. We all got the noties at Chat Sports, and everyone went ballistic when Ricky Scoops came out and dropped the hammer and said, Dolphins are shopping Jalen Waddle. Ricky Spanish. All right. He's not dead, guys. He's just doing other stuff. All right, here we go. We got 110 people, Producer Alper. We cannot start our first segment, which is all about Pat McAfee, until we hit 50 likes.
We got to get to 50.
Got to get to 50 likes.
Got to get to 50. What are we doing?
Guys, he's not dead. Stop putting RIP.
He had a great life.
He actually he messaged Reed the other day and told Reed to tell me something about the Falcons, and I can't remember what it was. I'd have to ask producer Reed.
All right.
Everybody's just gonna type.
And then
RIPs
Bricked
now.
Up said, "American Dad legend Ricky
Spanish."
We're gonna miss Petey.
Yeah, it's comical at this point that the narrative now is that Petey has died. Did I tell you that there was one Falcons fan that said, damn, Petey is like the dad that died. Moose is like the cool stepdad. That's what one Falcons fan said. It was hilarious. Petey was the GOAT, but Moose got potential. Thanks.
It's been 5 months. He's long gone.
Thanks.
Huge.
You forgot your mayonnaise.
Thanks.
6 more likes, and then we're getting started.
That thumbs up back on.
It's exactly what somebody said. Somebody goes, damn, Petey's like the dad that died, but Moose is like your cool stepdad that your mom remarries.
You're the dad that stepped up.
I would love to bring Petey back on a celebrity camo.
Nice, Dad.
Thanks, Dondre. Appreciate it.
He's now a Mandela effect.
What is the Mandela effect?
Where it's only your pigment of your imagination.
Oh, a figment of your imagination. That's funny. Petey died so the Falcons could fly. That's crazy.
I will invite Moose to the cookout.
Appreciate you, Rocky. And by the way, I see your little thumbnail there. What's that coming down the track?
No.
That's the second person that won't do it. It's the meme machine in the red and black.
I hate Georgia. They smacked us
Ain't
like 3 weeks
nothing
ago.
finer in the land than a drunk, obnoxious Georgia fan. Go, dogs. Go, dogs. Go, dogs. Sick 'em.
Can I just leave?
All right, let's get started here. All right, let's do this. All right, let's talk about what Pat McAfee had to say about those dirty, dirty birds. I'm not going to lie to you, Falcons fans. As happy as I am that the Atlanta Falcons went out and crushed the Buffalo Bills on Monday Night Football, I'm a little peeved today. Not peeved at any one specific coach or player on the Dirty Birds. No, I'm pissed at the media. I am pissed that no one is talking about the Atlanta Falcons. Instead, the narrative has been, well, the Buffalo Bills lost that game. No, the Atlanta Falcons beat the Buffalo Bills, and in very convincing fashion. In fact, there was only one talking head that gave the Falcons really any credit throughout the entirety of the national media, and that was this guy right here, Mr. Pat McAfee. And look, Pat McAfee might not be your flavor of host. He can be a little blunt. He can be a little, obnoxious. He can also be a little silly from time to time, but he is very entertaining. He does know football because, hell, he was a national football player for quite some time. But I'm going to break down what he said about the Dirty Birds, how he gave them credit, and why I believe later on in the episode it's not perfect, but this team has potential to continue on and go on a run. Now, before I do that, let's talk about those NFC South subs rankings. By the way, no. That is not Saints now. That is Aints now at 51,600. We have definitely caught up to them. We're at 42,618 subs. The Panthers report that was just started up, they've got like 233 after their last win. So, like the other 12 the other 12 Panthers fans that exist, they all subbed. But Buccaneers now is still riding out the bottom of the coattails while they struggle to find a host as well. So, do me a favor. If you love free Dirty Birds content, if you want to catch up to Aints now, do me a favor. Hit that sub button. We're covering it all day long, 365 days a year. Let's move on to what Pat McAfee had to say. That defense, they get slaughtered by the Carolina Panthers. Then Ulbrich comes back and puts on a masterclass against Josh Allen. Raheem Morris has gone in there and implemented a culture, and it feels like Penix is a guy, but it feels like Bijan Robinson is the guy. This Atlanta Falcons team just got a huge win on Monday night, and they deserve a lot of credit. Well said there, Mr. McAfee. Now, I'm not going to agree with everything that he just said because I don't feel like Michael Penix should have that classification as just a guy, at least not right now. He's only, 8 starts in? And we'll talk about Michael Penix later on in this episode and throughout the live stream. Don't worry. But one of the things, like I told you at the beginning of the episode, that I'm pissed about is the narrative about how Josh Allen lost and not about the Falcons winning. You do realize that in order to beat a team, you've got to score more points than the other one. Oh, duh, that's football. You've got to stop the opposing team when they get the ball in their hands. Duh, that's football. So stop giving me the narrative that Josh Allen lost the game. The Falcons defense put the pressure on Josh Allen and forced him to lose the game. Do you think Josh Allen just went out there and chucked the ball straight up in the air and said, 500, somebody go get it? That's why he threw the picks, right? No, the Falcons forced those turnovers. The Falcons deserve the credit for beating the Buffalo Bills. That is the truth. And if I look at just kind of the basic stat lines for the Buffalo Bills over the Atlanta Falcons, you can clearly see that in every single statistical category, from the big three from the Bills and the big three for the Falcons, Penix better than Josh Allen. Bijan smoked James Cook. And Drake London crushes Joshua Palmer. So all of the offensive playmakers for the Atlanta Falcons beat the playmakers for the Buffalo Bills. Does that sound like the Bills lost that game? No. So stop telling me that's the case. This Falcons team showed me on Monday night they are only bound by their own mistakes. If they beat themselves, they will lose. But when they come out buttoned up, when they come out with a game plan, and when they execute, they can beat anybody in the NFL. And if you take a look at the next 5 games, there are some tougher matchups, specifically Week 9 and Week 10. Those are going to be very tough games. The Patriots are a lot better than we thought, and where did the frick did the Colts come out of? Left field? Because good God, Daniel Jones looks good this year. Outside of that, the Niners, very beatable. The Dolphins, terrible. The Panthers, come on. Like, I know we lost 30-0, but you cannot tell me that you think the same result is going to happen against the Carolina Panthers in Week 11. So I'm looking at the next 5 games, and I say 3-2 at worst, 4-1 at best. You could drop a game to the Patriots or the Colts. You can, and you'll be just fine. I know we've got the Buccaneers to contend with, but this Falcons team is still one of the best in the NFL right now. And that's not a moose take. That is a statistical fact. Their defense is number 1 overall statistically. Their offense, number 2 overall statistically. Why am I missing this? Like, what am I missing? What about the Falcons am I not getting correct? Now, I get it. When you go out there and you don't have a game plan and you have no energy and your quarterback makes mistakes, you can get shut out on the road and lose in dramatic fashion and make it look really gross like you did to the Panthers. But I thought what we saw against the Bills was more of what the Falcons are versus what we saw that week 3. And I think a lot of Falcons fans forget that. Let's go back to the defense for a second. They limited the Bills to 2 of 9 on third down conversions. So not only are they good on early downs, they're good when it matters. They do not blink when they have to be great. 2 of 9 for Josh Allen is sensational. This team's only limit is themselves. Period. Like I told you before, if they come out sluggish, if they don't have a game plan, if they're taking a team like the Panthers, who are statistically and on paper worse than them as a roster, if you don't take every team seriously, you will lose games. And that's what I saw against the Panthers. So is it perfect? Of course not. But stop telling me this isn't a different looking Falcons team. And I'm talking to you, Falcons fans. Stop telling me that. It's not the same team. It is a different mentality. It is a different unit. It is a different feel. And if you love the Dirty Birds and you want to show them some support, if you agree with me, hit that thumbs up icon right now. If you are in the live chat, do me a favor, throw those thumbs up emojis in the live chat. I should see as many as possible. And this isn't me blowing smoke up your ass. This is me telling you the truth. I see this team differently than I have seen other Falcons teams in the past. But like I said, it's not perfect. So what are the tweaks that have to be made? Well, coming up, I'm going to tell you some of those tweaks. Some of it has to do with the defense. Some of it has to do with the offense, mostly with some of the choices that Zach Robinson made against the Bills. But before I do that, I got to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, and that is our friends over at HelloFresh. Look, HelloFresh is the place where you can get some very tasty and healthy options. All you have to do is remember that this is not the HelloFresh that you remember. Fall is definitely here, and when it comes to those cooler nights, healthier meals, and heartier meals, to be completely honest with you, the craving for something warm and satisfying is there, and that's where HelloFresh comes in, bringing you comforting, chef-designed recipes and fresh seasonal ingredients right to your door. This season, they've taken things to the next level with their biggest menu refresh yet. Say hello to a whole new way to do dinner. It's tastier, getting steak and seafood recipes delivered every single week for no extra cost. There's 3 times more seafood on the menu now at no extra cost. Discover new seasonal produce each week, from snap peas to stone fruit to corn on the cob and much more. There's a reason that 91% of their customers say they feel healthier eating with HelloFresh. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. 1 per box with an active subscription. Free meals applied at discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. I'll have all of that in the comments and description of today's video. So if you remember my last video that I made, I apologized to Zach Robinson. I did, because I have to be a man. I have to recognize when I'm incorrect. I was wrong about Zach Robinson in this aspect. Since he's moved down to the field, the communication, the game plan, the creativity at some points throughout the game has been so much better. Everything looks in sync. Everything looks more crisp. And that's directly result, at least right now, a direct result of Zach Robinson moving down to the field. So the communication with Penix, the communication with the offensive players, and frankly, just a simplifying of the offense. Get the ball to Bijan, get the ball to Tyler, get the ball to Drake. It works. It definitely works. But, while I do give my apologies to Zach Robinson, he's not completely off the hook yet. Because now we got to talk about the second half offense. If you go back and look at the game, all of the creativity, all of the offensive firepower, it pretty much came in the first half. And I'm not the only one that saw that. The Falcoholic saw that as well. After a promising opening half, Zach Robinson's offense lost its rhythm and didn't get back until late in the fourth quarter. The loss of Jake Matthews definitely cannot be understated, but the issues go beyond his injury. The team still shows signs of an identity crisis in spurts. That's the key phrase there, in spurts. It is tempting to shy away from the pass when Drake London is performing at such a high level, but Z-Rob is too quick to go away from the run and will try to put the game on Penix's arm more than he should. Here's what I saw. There were moments when it was down near the 2-minute warning where all you had to do was run the damn football. Just run the football. And he started throwing, and there was almost a pick that could have gotten the Bills back in the game. Now, luckily, the Bills defender dropped the ball, and then they started running it afterwards. The way I look at this is simple. Zach, where was all of this creativity and willingness to run the football that you had in the first half? Where was it down the stretch of the game? It almost felt like he was trying to put the game out of reach. Like he was trying to make the score look better, more dominant. That's not what we need. You're already beating one of the best teams in the NFL. Win the game. You know what makes me more confident in you as a offensive coordinator and as a coach? Your ability to ice those games out, to win those football games, because there will come a time when you're not playing your best football and you still have the opportunity to win the game. Then I want to see you do it. I want to see you close it out. This was your test to close it out. And while they still won the game, it felt like at moments you could have given it back. So, is he off the hook? No, but it's gotten a lot better. It's gotten a lot better. Now let's move on to the special teams really quick, because it's not just offense. It's not just defense, because the defensive run game right now, you got to have another tree stump in that middle. You got to have someone like Jeffrey Simmons to solidify that defensive line. But John Parker Romo, the Falcons still have a kicker problem. It's not as bad as Koo, in my opinion. But I'm not going to lie to you, it's not great. Here's what the Falcoholic had to say about the kicking game as well. The Falcons have little to no confidence in their kicking game. They bypassed the opportunity to go up 3 scores in the first half and allowed a block kick that looked doomed based on exit trajectory, meaning John Parker Romo kicked it low. When they finally did settle, the team has said it's always holding an open competition at kicker. But the reality is that once they give up Romo, there is no going back like you did with Younghoe Koo. All of this to say one quick, brief statement. Atlanta's not a finished product. The kicking is still a problem, right? I don't think John Parker Romo is the long-term answer. I think he was a Band-Aid on a bullet hole, and it helped for now. And can he be your guy for the rest of 2025? We'll see. But Atlanta's not perfect. No team in the NFL right now is. Even the Chiefs, who Colin Cowherd just glazed as the best team in the NFL, is 3-3. So there can be a lot of different paths to greatness. There can be a lot of different paths to the playoffs. Right now, we have to look at this from an objective standpoint. The Falcons, statistically, are looking like one of the most complete teams in the NFL. And this will be an unbelievable test, even given the injuries against the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday Night Football. Can you beat a team that is already off to an incredibly hot start? Because if you beat the Bills and you beat the San Francisco 49ers in back-to-back weeks in prime time, nobody can take that away from you. And you have to put the NFL on notice. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Like today's video if you have not already. And as always, Dirty Birds fans, rise up and be cool. I ignore that.
Ignore.
God, every single thing, every single time I get a notie from like Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter, I'm thinking it's a trade. But it's not. It's not. It's just a bunch of injury news.
We are 3 weeks away from the trade deadline. It's going to be quiet for now.
I don't think so. I think you're going to see a lot happen in the next week. I really do.
Next week.
What are the Chiefs doing in here? They're eavesdropping. They want an insider look at how to beat the Atlanta Falcons when they meet them in the
Super Bowl?
I bet that's all. I'm not saying it out loud.
Beat the Lions. Or the Packers.
I'm not saying anything out loud right now.
I mean, the division's easy as hell.
Appreciate it, Gavin. I am so tired of seeing so many Falcons fans tell me that this team does not deserve the respect yet. Even if you go out and you drop an absolute stinker to one of these teams, you beat one of the best in the NFL. Like, you can do it. There are teams in the NFL that cannot beat great teams. The Tennessee Titans, they cannot beat the Kansas City Chiefs. They couldn't even beat the Raiders. They cannot win.
They play the Patriots.
They're not a good, roster-wise. The Falcons have a good roster. They can go toe-to-toe with anybody. I'm not sleeping on the Niners. They're a good football team. Even with the injuries, they were a good football team.
All right, let's see. How many questions do we have?
How many questions do we have?
Ooh, I got 2, 4, 6,
8.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 12, not 13.
Yeah, by the way, hell, how about this? The first super chat that comes in, I will give you double your ducks.
Ooh!
Double your ducks for the first super chat that comes in. We've got nothing today. If you want double your ducks for whatever amount outside of the 50, because if you send in a 50, you're still automatically in.
You're automatic.
If you send a 5, 10, or a 20, I'll double your ducks. First one.
What about $1?
Double ducks. Quack to quack. Double ducks. Shay Reeves says, nice. The old double duck from Dossier Gaming. Shout out to you. Quit your bitching. Remember, we're doing a duck race at the end of today's show because I forgot to do it against the Bills. All right, so here's what we're going to do, Alper. Yes.
Please send me all the duck names.
I got you. Hold on.
Where is Atlanta to bring up these super chats? By the Falcons.
Bop-a-dop. Quack, quack, a lucky duck.
I will forever love the Falcons for what they did Monday night.
All of these right here.
Made me smile.
Yeah. I will send you these names when we're getting ready to do the duck race. How's that sound?
That's cool with me.
Oh, and by the way, Bijan Robinson is the MVP right now. Can we all agree on that? Like, if you don't have Bijan as your MVP, who are you giving it to?
Look.
Like, honest question. That's not glaze. That's not a homer talking. If you're not giving it to Bijan, who are you giving it to?
It has been 12 years since a running back has won MVP. That doesn't happen anymore.
Dude,
it's a quarterback award.
He's got 800. He's got 822 scrimmage yards in 5 games.
Oh, I know.
Like, he is on pace to have almost 3,000 yards from scrimmage.
I know. He's the MVP, but it's not. It's a quarterback award in 2025. It's a quarterback award. And then Offensive Player of the Year is always, hey, he's the MVP of the league. That's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Do I agree with it? No. Right now, Mahomes is the clear favorite for MVP. And
that
I don't
is
agree
so
with
bullshit.
That. Yep, but that's what it is. In
I don't think
day.
you should be able to, like, the MVP is most valuable player. If you took Bijan off of the Falcons, is it the same team?
Well, that's what they're saying. That's exactly what they're saying with the Chiefs.
Of course, but the clearly that with Mahomes, they haven't been that great either. They're 3-3.
So you take them off, they think they're 0-6.
Well, duh, yes, of course. But I think you're placing too much on the importance of the quarterback position. Like, it's the most important position, but like Bijan's statistical, like, he's winning games for the Falcons. Baker's also been killing it. Baker would, if it wasn't Bijan, it would be Baker. I hate saying that, but Baker's been outstanding.
Baker's a dog.
Yeah, he's been balling out, especially with all those injuries too.
Baker's a dog. Oof, oof.
Just like, so you do the ooh, ooh.
Yeah, when it involves anything but the Georgia Bulldogs.
Stop it.
Screw the Georgia Bulldogs.
All right.
Meet us in basketball. See us in basketball.
Does anybody care?
Ask Smitty.
Smitty cares.
Ask Rolly.
Smitty loves.
Ask Rolly.
Smitty
Ask
loves
Coop.
college football. Or college basketball,
Exactly.
excuse me.
Exactly.
All right. Let's talk about the preview against the San Francisco 49ers. I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. And I know that with the injuries, a lot of 49ers fans will say, well, you can beat up on a team that's got all these injuries. But the 49ers keep winning. So clearly, your team is still good. So it's still a good win if you win. Either way, let's get into it. It's Sunday Night Football on NBC. At least I think it is. Welcome in, Falcons fans, to Falcons Today by Chat Sports. My name is Moose. Let's talk about that Week 7 matchup on Sunday Night Football between your Dirty Birds and the San Francisco 49ers. The game is in San Francisco, and I'm just going to come out straight out of the gates with this opening question. Who do you consider to be the X factor for the Falcons versus the 49ers on Sunday Night Football? If you are watching during our regularly scheduled programming, get down in the comment section down below. Or if you're in our live chat, let me know in the live chat right now. Let's talk really quick about the 49ers offensive statistics, right? Look, they've got a very good passing game. I'll give Kyle Shanahan, the offensive play guru, I'll give him all the credit in the world for that. What he's doing with a bunch of backups is insane. They're 6th in total yards per game. They are 1st in passing yards per game. By the way, their run game is actually awful at 30th, and points per game, they're 24th, and that I think is considered because when they get down into the red zone, they can't run the football. It's a pass-heavy offense for this team, period. If you can take away the pass with how good this Falcons secondary is, you should have the clear advantage to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Now, a lot of that also has to do with the fact that they are dealing with some key injuries to some certain players, like Mac Jones being the quarterback right now for the San Francisco 49ers. You might see Brock Purdy in there, but Christian McCaffrey is still healthy, and he's one of their biggest playmakers. Juwan Jennings has definitely come onto his own. George Kittle might come back for this game as well, and then Ricky Pearsall has turned into a very, very nice wide receiver for the 49ers. But here's what I will also say. There is a massive elephant in the room. The 49ers are decimated with injuries right now, meaning they are relying on second and third string players. A lot of this is also on defense, which I also believe is why their defensive numbers are not nearly as good. Now, we will talk about that coming up in today's episode, but Kyle Shanahan plays a very rough and tough style of football. He's very physical. It's very 1990s-esque with some elements of, 2025 football thrown in there. He's very creative. He runs a very smash-mouth power running scheme, and that's why you see all of these injuries. That's why his teams always have injuries basically every single year, is because of how physical they play. One player specifically that is always injury-prone, but not this year, is Christian McCaffrey. And outside of Bijan Robinson, he's one of the best pass-catching backs in the NFL. You will see him line up in the passing game in the slot. You'll see him out in the flat. You'll see him on swings and screens. When he gets the ball in his hand, man, look out. This guy's tough. Very, very tough. But there is a way to beat him as well. You have to force him to become a power runner. That's the part of his game where he's not nearly as good. If you get him out in the flat, out in open space, and you get him on a pitch, he's going to cook you. He's way too shifty. He's way too fast. And he's got too much in the bag. But you force him into a north to south runner, you can beat him. Brock Purdy, look, he and Mac Jones are very similar, right? They're not the exact same player, but they're not too dissimilar. They're both smaller quarterbacks with not great arms, pretty accurate, can move a little. Like, there's nothing spectacular about Brock Purdy or Mac Jones, but what they do very well is execute the game plan. Similar styles, but it's not a different game plan. What you're going to see from Mac Jones is what you're going to see from Brock Purdy. From an offensive perspective for the 49ers, that is. So you shouldn't have to worry about fixing your game to a different style of quarterback. This isn't going from Brock Purdy to Trey Lance, right? It's completely different. So what you got to do is force this team to run the football. Stack the box, play man coverage, and just force either Jones or Purdy to take the top off of you. Make them throw deep. There's not enough deep wide receiver talent right now for the 49ers that can beat you deep, especially against this Falcons secondary. And also, defensively speaking, for the 49ers, offensively now for the Atlanta Falcons, Bijan Robinson. I mean, what else needs to be said? He's your MVP. He can gash any team. We saw it. And we will talk about very briefly here, coming up in just a little bit, about the defensive statistics for the 49ers and how to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Now, before we do that, I've got to tell you about our friends over at PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every single day, but on PrizePicks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on PrizePicks, where it is good to be right. Did you know PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can now pick the same player up to 3 times in the exact same lineup? You want to pick the more on Michael Penix Jr.'s passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns? Now you can, all in the exact same lineup, only on PrizePicks. You can also follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in just one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the brand new Feed tab. How do you play? Pick the player, the more or less on their stat projection, and watch your money multiply. Up to 2,000 times your money this football season on PrizePicks. Just download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It is good to be right. All of that's going to be in the comments and description of today's video. All right. So what I view this team as, a San Francisco 49ers now that we're talking about them, is, look, the defense is mid. It is statistically and just from the eye test. It's just mid. You can gash this team through the air and on the ground. It is by far one of the most injury-prone and injury-riddled defenses in the league, specifically when it came to that Fred Warner injury. Did you see his ankle? Ugh, it's disgusting. Yards per game allowed, 15th. Passing yards allowed, 18th. Rushing yards allowed, 14th. Points per game, 15th. So this isn't a bad defense. It's just not a great defense. And I think we saw what the Falcons did to a bad running defense against the Buffalo Bills. So does that mean that you're going to get the exact same 238 yards from scrimmage from Bijan? No, probably not, but maybe 120 yards from scrimmage. This is where I think you could do the unlock Michael Penix Jr. game. This could be the one. This could be the game where you say, Penix, we're going to let you just uncork the offense. We're going to have you throw 36 times, go out, and show us why you drafted us. Or why we drafted you, excuse me. Why you drafted us. That's funny. Penix chooses the Atlanta Falcons. That's good. Nice little moose mix up there. But here's what I will say. Penix at this point, as a Falcons starting quarterback, has been kind of a game manager. And I don't mean that in a negative way. He's just not making the mistakes. And it's almost like Zach Robinson says that to him. Look, we're going to give the ball to Bijan and Tyler Algier. Those are going to be the focal points of our offense. If you can distribute the ball to Bijan, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts with the Darnell Mooney injuries, you're going to have a lot of success in this offense. So don't turn the ball over. Hand the ball off, execute the game plan, milk the clock when we need you to milk the clock, and you will be just fine. And if all else fails, remember, you still have the MVP, right? It's Bijan. If all else fails, give the ball to Bijan. Watch him work. Continue to use Bijan out of the slot, I thought it was an excellent, excellent design from Zach Robinson. I'll give him credit. It was excellent. Use him like the X Factor, Swiss Army knife. There were so many motion plays that Zach Robinson drew up for him where he would start in the slot or start out wide, and then he'd come swing behind Michael Penix Jr. I thought in the first half against the Bills, it looked so creative. And statistically speaking, the numbers back it up that this is your MVP, period. 83 carries, 484 rushing yards, 24 receptions, 338 receiving yards, and 3 total touchdowns. I expect him to find the end zone a little bit more. So like I said, if all else fails, if Penix is struggling, just give the ball to Bijan, and I'm sure good things are going to happen. But that is not my key to victory, at least not the first one. The first one being blitz Brock Purdy all night. Right? He's got that he had that toe injury earlier, so his mobility is kind of limited. He's not that, he had turf toe. That's exactly right. He's not that mobile to begin with. He can move a little bit, but not a ton. So blitz Brock Purdy all night, kind of like you did to Josh Allen. Key to victory number 2, close up the seam. Do not let George Kittle, if he's back, get up the seam. He loves to live in there. And that's a great pass, by the way, from Purdy. It's one of his best. His seam shot is electric. Something that I wish Michael Penix would actually watch a little bit of film on and learn how to throw with touch over the middle of the field because Purdy does it tremendously. Speaking of Penix, let him spread the ball out. I want to see Casey Washington. I want to see Kyle Pitts. I want to see Drake London. Hell, activate somebody else. Activate Blair. Bring him in. I want to see the ball spread out. This San Francisco 49ers team is gettable. Matt Stafford chewed him up. I think Penix can be that player in this game. And like I said, to wrap it up, if all else fails, let Bijan cook. If the first 3 things don't work, get the ball to Bijan. Maybe even try playing him at corner. Who knows? I'm totally kidding. But that is my final key to victory. My final question to you before we get on out of here on our preview, will the Falcons start a 3-game win streak? Yes or no? I'm thinking yes. Final score prediction from Moose, 30-23. Give me the Dirty Birds. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that subscribe button. Like today's video. Rise up, Dirty Birds fans, and be cool. Brr. Well, we scored 24 against the Bills. And that was with a bad second half offense. The Bills are not mid.
Bills are kind of mid.
No, they're not. Stop it. They had a bad performance against the Dirty Birds because the Dirty Birds are good.
So you're calling the Patriots good?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, walked you into that one.
No, not walking. It's objective.
Gotcha.
Okay, yeah. There you go. I was going to say, objectively speaking, the Patriots are a much better team. But you have a much better coach. Who was your coach last year? Who was that chud?
Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo. Never trust a coach with the last name of a condiment.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's all I'm saying.
Trace Ketchup.
Terrible coach.
How many questions we got?
Get your questions in.
Waddle, 1, 2, 3,
4,
4, 5, 6, 7. I am a hater, Charles. I am a hater.
You are the Patriots host. And you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah, but I think the Niners are going to win this one. I think if it was in Atlanta, I think the Falcons would get it. But in San Francisco, they're still a solid team.
Nah.
I got 24-21.
Give me the Falcons.
Niners.
Falcons trade Ray in a third and fourth for Waddle.
Yeah, that's one of the questions.
I don't think the Falcons have a fourth. I don't think so. Definitely don't have a first. No, we don't have a fifth. Sorry. We have a third and a fourth. We don't have a fifth. No fifth round pick for the Birds. All right, get your hashtag Falcons or Super Chat questions.
Get a couple more
By
questions.
the way, we didn't get the Super Chat up on screen. You got to get
Yes,
that up
we
on.
did.
No, we didn't. I didn't see it.
I brought it up. I literally brought it up.
I did not see it. Sorry. Dossier, I didn't acknowledge it then.
I literally.
With the number 1 defense and number 2
up.
offense, this team should have 12 wins by the end of the season. Shout out to you, Dossier. Rise up. Yeah, look, I said 10 wins at the beginning of the season. I think I'm going to stick with that. Maybe after, if they beat the San Francisco 49ers, I might go up to 11.
Yeah, I literally went to.
I
went
said
and got
10
the
and
Super
7.
Chat.
I said 10 and 7 with the ceiling of 11 and 6, and I think I said my floor was 7 and 10. I said they were going to be between 7 and 10 wins. Earth angel,
We need more.
will you be mine? You guys got to get your questions in. Hashtag Falcons or Super Chat. Which, by the way, only $5. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to get into that duck race later.
Yoga's buddy says, you got to use hashtag Patriot or hashtag Falcons. Hashtag Falcons.
Hashtag Patriots. Get out of here.
Well,
You're thinking about later today.
Yeah, I am. I'm already thinking about later. I've been thinking about later today for the last hour.
Ooh. Hashtag Falcons. How many do we have, by the way?
Like 7.
That is not nearly enough. We only have 7 questions.
Yes.
Not hashtag mailbag.
Plus, Mr. Barry. That includes Barry.
Barry White.
That includes Barry. Oh, no. Okay. We have 6 questions.
6?
6.
Oh, no. Guys, hashtag Falcons. Hashtag Falcons.
Because that's one of the questions.
We got to get at least 3 more questions. I'm going to start calling people out.
When is Jake back? The Bright Wolf. Yes, we have your question. You are definitely getting in the mailbag, the Bright Wolf. 1, 2,
Oh my
3.
gosh. Everybody's typing hashtag Falcons I meant. You have to put your hashtag Falcons and then your question. There you go. Archangel's got it. Jeffa's got it.
There you go. I like that question.
Let's get 2 more questions after those. We'll get 2 more and then we'll start.
1, 2,
Offensive guard.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, we got 9.
Well, there's more coming in.
Unless you want to use the Petey is now a Mandela effect. Oh boy.
All right, he's day-to-day right now, which is good. All right, cool.
Jake?
Yeah,
Jake who?
Matthews. He's day-to-day. All right, here we go. Let's get into our mail bag. Pistol heavy because that's Zach Robinson's baby. All righty then. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. What's up, Dirty Birds fans? Welcome into our Falcons Today mailbag edition. We are live currently on YouTube for our Falcons Today live show, which airs every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central Time. So before you get in your hashtag Falcons questions, I have a question for you. Can the Falcons go on a run in the next few weeks? Yes or no? I'm inclined to say yes. The next 5 games look pretty gettable. You can at least win 3 out of the next 5 for sure. The other 2 being tougher matchups between the Colts and the Patriots. But 3-2 or 4-1 over the next 5 looks very, very doable. So let me know in the comment section down below. Let's start off with a $5 super chat from Dossier Gaming. What's up, buddy? With the number 1 defense and number 2 offense, this team should have 12 wins by the end of the season. Rise up, brother. At the beginning of the season, I had said, I'm going to grab my handy-dandy football here just so that I can have something to fiddle with. I had said at the beginning of the season and before it started that I had the Atlanta Falcons winning 10 games. If they are able to beat the San Francisco 49ers, who I originally had them losing to, I think this team can win 11 games. Who knows what the Buccaneers are going to look like? Who knows if they're going to be at the top of the NFC South at the very end of the season? I do know this. Based off of what we saw against the Buffalo Bills, this Atlanta Falcons football team only has to worry about themselves and getting in their own way. They showed they can go toe-to-toe and beat some of the best teams in the NFL. Bricked Up Studios. Hell of a name. Should we trade for Snead? His results aren't great, but he's also the worst coach team in the NFL. Are we talking about L'Jarius Snead? No, I don't want L'Jarius Snead. His contract is terrible, like producer Alper just said, who knows a little bit about the Titans. But look, the more and more that I've seen the Falcons secondary play, the more and more I'm convinced that we don't necessarily need another corner at this very point. I think in the draft, you absolutely address it, but definitely not right now. Hughes had a pretty decent game against the Buffalo Bills outside of that one gigantic bomb that he gave up on the very first play. What I think the Falcons need right now is another wide receiver, and I think they need a defensive tackle to go right in the middle of that defensive line, perhaps a nose tackle. I think a true nose tackle would be amazing. Somebody like Jeffrey Simmons from the exact same team. What's up? Yeah, the other Titan. That's exactly right. Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans would be an unbelievable trade partner. So I hope that answers your question. I don't think we should trade for L'Jarius Snead right now. The Bright Wolf. How come everyone is talking about the Bills' wide receiving core being injured while our wide receiving core is more hurt? I'm tired of hearing about how the Bills lost that game. The Falcons won it. They beat the better team. Well, do we know that they're the better team? Not anymore, really. They beat a very good team. Let's say that. Take 2. I am so tired of the national media not giving credit to the Atlanta Falcons, especially this team. It's a completely different feel. It's different than the 2024 Falcons. It's different than the 2023 or 2022 Falcons. This is a different team. Start treating them like a different team. It is a more buttoned up, a defensive-led team under Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich. Yachty B. What's your opinion about the slow start to the offense in the second half? I think Zach Robinson got too conservative. I think he played that game to, at times, not lose, and then at times tried to make it look more pretty in the box score and really establish the dominant win. Sometimes as an offensive coordinator, when you get out to an early lead, just maintain the early lead. You don't have to get too conservative. You don't have to get ultra aggressive. Find the balance. Continue to do what you did well in the first half. The first half against the Bills, the Falcons prioritized the run. They prioritized the run. And then when Penix needed to make a throw on a clutch third down or an early, second down and 9 for a gain of 6 or a gain of 7, he did. It's not about trying to make every single play be a firework play. It's about methodically moving the football down the field. And if that makes it look a little boring sometimes, then it's a little boring. Archangel, when will Mooney be back? Could he be the missing piece to really get this offense clicking on all cylinders? I mean, he's week to week right now. We thought we were going to see him against the Buffalo Bills. Clearly, that wasn't the case. I think he's still really banged up. I think his body is not right yet. Is he the missing piece? You could say that. I don't necessarily know that I agree with it, considering we've seen what they can do without Mooney. Sure, would it be nice to have him back? Of course it would. I'm not saying that he's not important to this offense, but what I am saying is at some point, your best ability is availability, and if you're not available this season, you've got to start looking elsewhere for other replacements, whether that be activating players from your practice squad or searching for another wide receiver option. You know, maybe you go out and trade for a number 2. Does that mean you necessarily put Mooney in that trade package? No. But you start to have to think of, outside of Drake London, who is the next guy that is making that major contribution? It's not Kyle Pitts. He's had moments this year, but it hasn't been great. Hope that answers your question. Whoever made this account is, what are they, a 13-year-old boy? Barry McCockiner. Just found out Jalen Waddle is up for a trade. Falcons on that? Well, you have a good question and a weird name, but I will at least indulge your question and maybe not so much mention who you... I'll call you Barry from now on. Ricky Scoops. I hope you know the name, and if you haven't been familiar with it, you can't because he just deactivated his account. But this was earlier today. Ricky Scoops is this insider anonymous NFL source that has been like on trade rumors, and he has a surprisingly high hit rate. So if you're not familiar with Ricky Scoops, his hit rate is like, what do you think? It's like 70%. It's about 70% on these trades. He was on, yeah, it's exactly a great point. He was on the Micah trade to Green Bay before it happened. So he's got like a 70% hit rate. Here's what he said. The Dolphins are actively shopping Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, and Bradley Chubb with Devon Achane as well. So they're in a fire sale mode. Jalen Waddle is one of those players that he might not be the exact same player that Tyreek Hill is, but my God, is he a damn good number 2. Like, damn good number 2. 29 receptions this year, 390 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, career high in 2022 with 1,300 yards. Could you imagine, just for a brief moment, Jalen Waddle, Drake London, and Darnell Mooney on the same team? That is insane. He's an unbelievable talent. I don't know if the Falcons have enough to give him up because I'm sure they're going to want a second-round pick or a third-round pick plus a player or 2. I don't know. I don't know what the Dolphins are asking for him right now. I do know this. If the Falcons have the ability to go get Jalen Waddle, do it. Do it, please. You've got to pay him next year. You got to give him wait, do you have to pay him? Is he under contract? What's the deal there? I think he's searching for a new contract. I'm like 99% sure. Either way, if you've got the ability to go get Jalen Waddle, you have to get him. That dude is ridiculous. And he's in the prime of his career. London and Waddle, stop. Yeah, you're getting me goosebumps right now. You are giving me goosebumps. So, would you trade for Jalen Waddle? Should the Dirty Birds trade for Jalen Waddle? Type T for trade or type P for pass? I'm typing my T for trades. If I can make it happen with compensation, if I can make it happen with the salary cap, I'm totally doing it. We're going to get back to more questions here in just a moment. But before we do that, I got to tell you about our friends over at HelloFresh. Listen, my friends, you may remember HelloFresh, but not quite like this. Fall is here. And when it comes to those cooler nights, heartier meals, and the craving for something warm and satisfying, HelloFresh comes in with a bang, bringing you comforting, chef-designed recipes and fresh seasonal ingredients right to your door. This season, they've taken things to the next level with their biggest menu refresh yet. Say hello to a whole new way to do dinner. It's bigger. HelloFresh has doubled its menu. You can now choose from up to 100 options each week, including new seasonal dishes and recipes from around the world. Dig into bigger portions that'll keep everyone satisfied. 91% of customers say they feel healthier eating with HelloFresh. The best way to cook just got better. Go to HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM now to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. That's one per box with active subscription. Free meals applied at discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's HelloFresh.com/FalconsChat10FM to get 10 free meals plus a free item for life. I will have all of that in the comments and description of today's video. Jeffa Sports. PFF ranked Bijan as their 6th overall running back. Thoughts? Bullshit. If he's not your number one, at least right now, you're crazy. The dude's been the best running back in the NFL this season, and it's not even close. Now, if you were saying that's their 6th overall running back in the last, 3 seasons, you'd have a better argument. I still think it's wrong, but I could understand that. If you're talking about just 2025, it is the worst take I've ever seen. So PFF, while they might have some cool analytics and cool statistics, that's a bad take. MW. Why do we always run a pistol-heavy offense? It's the Zach Robinson special. It's his baby. It's the way he runs it. I'm not a fan of the pistol offense. I think you guys know that. I've gone on record on all these videos, and I've said I'm not a fan. With that being said, the last couple of games, Zach Robinson has definitely turned it around. I will give him credit for that. I will have to admit when I am wrong, and I have been wrong about him the last 2 games. But I still think it's predictable at times. I think it can get too cute. I think it can, against the right defense, get shredded. So take that for what you will. I really, really hope he implements more creativity like he did against the Bills. There was a lot more shotgun, right? These different shotgun packages with different motion opportunities with Bijan and Penix in that first half against the Bills. I thought it was great. I really did. So I'm hoping I see more of that. Hopefully that answers your question. Last question from Mark Angel, and we'll get on out of here. Will Zach Robinson be coaching a college team next year? Yes. I think he coaches the Oklahoma State job. I think the rumors there are way too big. I think he's a legend in Stillwater. He was their quarterback for a long time. He's one of their all-time best quarterbacks there at Oklahoma State. And I think with Mike Gundy gone, one of the obvious choices to get him or replace him was Zach Robinson. And Des Bryant actually went out and was like, hey, go get Zach Robinson. They were college teammates. That's why. So he's calling for it. I think it'll happen. I do think it'll happen. That's going to do it for us on today's episode. A reminder to hit that sub button, like today's video if you haven't already. And as always, be cool. All right. Here's what we're going to do. It's 4:09. I'm going to send you the names here in just a little bit.
Send me the names.
We're going to do the duck race at 4:15. 1 minute, then we'll get on out of here. You get 5 more minutes. 5 minutes to get your last minute super chats in. And if we don't see any super chats coming in, we can shorten that time. Can you put up the super chat menu for them real quick? Show them what they got.
Yes, sir.
If you want to get in on the Matt Ryan signed jersey raffle, if you want the chance to sport a Matty Ice laser autographed jersey, all you got to do is send in a $5 super chat. I'll tell you what, for the next couple of minutes, I will double everything on this list minus the 50 because you're automatically in anyway. If you send in a 5, you'll get 2 ducks. If you send in a 10, you'll get 6. And if you send in a $20 super chat, you will get 12 ducks. Guaranteed.
12 ducks.
For the next couple of minutes. We're doing the duck race here in just a couple of minutes. Oh, baby, waste your time with me in California.
Miami Dolphins fire McDaniel. Should we get him to be the OC? That's a good question, Robert Kelly.
I mean, if they fire him and Zach Robinson takes the job, hell yeah. Hell yeah. McDaniel would be an unbelievable offensive coordinator. If you want to get in, I'm doubling everything right now. Doubling everything.
Doubling everything.
Doubling everything.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick, bruh.
Yeah, bruh.
209 here in the beautiful state of California. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Oh, chaw.
Oh, I'm that shaka, bro. Gonna go hit the slopes, dude.
Take the 405 all the way out to Monte Cristo. Get on the 318 and go south.
You're gonna ride those waves, bro.
Oh, totally. Aloha, Mr. Hind. Name that movie. Aloha, Mr. Hind.
Finding Nemo?
You're so dumb.
Shark Tank?
No.
I don't know.
I thought I could enjoy a slice of pizza on our time. You know what, Mr. Spicoli? You're right. It is our time. Have you never seen Fast Times at Ridgemont High?
Nope.
You have no taste in movies.
I don't watch movies.
Please tell me you guys know that movie. All the old heads in here know.
I turned 28 in 3 weeks.
Yeah, you're young. Young boy.
You're 1 year older.
And don't you fucking forget it. All right, listen, 2 more minutes and then we're doing the duck race. I'm sending you the names right now, Alpy, if we don't get another one. Alpy. Do you want them in your Slack or what do you want?
TV.
TV. Aloha. Archangel, Archangel, will you be mine? There you go.
I don't see them. Oh, that's because Flag is closed. Moustakas. EH go.
I go.
Jeebus. And what was the last name? Who sent in the super chat?
At the very bottom, Dossier Gaming.
Thank you. Oh, you already added it.
Yeah, I already have him in there.
Oh.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
How long? How long are we doing the duck race? 1 minute?
1 minute.
1
minute. Last offer right now. 1 more minute to get your super chats in, and then we're doing it. Doesn't look like anybody wants to bite. Nobody wants to get in on that Matt Ryan jersey raffle. It's all right.
No, sure they do not.
Do I expect the Falcons to blow out the Panthers? No, I don't. Panthers definitely do one thing right this year. They run the football really well.
Not against the Patriots.
Rico Dowdle, absolutely slow. If you can take away the run of the Panthers, they're so beatable because Bryce Young is booty cheeks. Dat One Falcon says, Moose, I think it's time that I get credit for the recent Falcons predictions. I know ball. You're also very humble. I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, you do. You get a lot of credit there, Dat One Falcons fan. You've been on some of this stuff. That's awesome. I give you credit. You're right. I did not have the Falcons beating the Bills or the Niners. I was happy that I was proven wrong. I'm happy. But I also had them beating the Panthers. So we need Mike Vick, an early Matt Ryan type of home field where they would always win. Matty Ice. Gotta love that. Gotta love that. All right. Here, bring it up. Bring it up real, or unless you can't.
What?
That duck race. There you go. All right, look at all our ducks.
I'm shuffling.
Shuffle them up. Shuffle off to Buffalo.
We get 3.
Shuffle them up. Shuffle them up. All right, here's what we're going to do. First place and second place. Get entries.
All right.
First place and second place. Get entries. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Bang! And they're off.
They're off.
Remember, we do not call any ducks until 30 seconds.
Yep. Jeez.
No ducks on this channel until 30 seconds.
Well, who has the best duck?
Who's got the greatest duck?
the greatest
Look
duck?
at all these great ducks. They're
great
all
ducks.
great ducks. Except for, well, frankly, some of those really weird-looking ducks with suits on.
Ducks.
I don't like those suits.
I don't think we have one this time.
You don't have one what?
A Trump duck.
No Trump duck. I'm not in there. My duck is not there.
Yeah. Oh, well, who's that one?
I am that duck. That's me.
Don?
Donnie. That's what they call me. That's what my mom calls me.
Literally, look at Don's duck.
Here
comes Kale.
Here we go. Tony Ho. Tony Ho.
Sarah
Tony,
Wade.
Hody, Hody,
Sarah Wade,
Ho.
but here comes Herb Street. Steven, but it's going to be Sarah Wade.
Sarah Wade. Da, 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 da. Who's in second? Jeebus. Awesome. All right, here we go. Jeebus and Sarah Wade.
I sent you the top three.
There we go. Jeebus and Sarah Wade. All right. That is going to do it for us on today's live episode, or live edition, of Falcons Today by Chat Sports. A reminder to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Join the ever-growing community of Falcons fans right here. Remember to like the stream, and as always, Falcons fans, rise up and be cool.